Today marks 1 year since President Trump was sworn in for his second term, returning to the White House on January 20th, 2025. The inauguration followed one of the most dramatic political comebacks in American history after a hard-fought campaign that reshaped the Republican Party and energized millions of voters nationwide. Now, over the past year, the Trump administration has moved quickly on key priorities, and coming up, we'll be joined by Jim Paff with the Conservative Caucus on President Trump's wins in year one and the high stakes for 2026. Again, that's coming up. But first, we want to tell you about Tina Peters back in solitary confinement after being assaulted in prison. The former Mesa County, Colorado clerk and Gold Star mother is jailed for questioning the 2020 election and the machines. Her attorney, Peter Tickton, that is, says Tina was getting water this past weekend when an inmate assaulted her. Tina pushed that inmate away. Tina was then handcuffed, shackled, and brought to solitary. Now told she will be charged with felony assault for defending herself. Another targeted attack against Tina. We're told Tina has minor injuries but is not seriously injured. Again, she is in solitary confinement this morning. She's 70 years old. Free Tina Peters. This political warfare has gone on too long, as you know. Tina is suffering, being abused in prison by inmates, being abused by the Colorado political system, and she needs to be let out. As we mentioned last week, her attorneys are currently in the appeals process to free Tina as they request a new trial. Over in Minnesota, Christians targeted at a Minneapolis church. We're continuing to follow that this morning. And the person interrogating it all, Don Lemon. He's now sticking up for his words, going on a podcast saying Christians relate to white supremacy.
And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely 100%, but it's an intimidation tactic. And, I said, I don't understand how I've become the face of it when I was a journalist. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America.
Well, the Antifa mobsters, the left rioters, they're running rampant in the city. Churchgoers scared, children crying, all when protesters stormed the church during service. The DOJ is investigating the protesters and Don Lemon. We're hoping for charges. We're also hoping for arrests sooner than later. Now to 365 days of President Trump. Hasn't it been a fun ride so far? The left hates it, but we love it. We celebrate every single day, going to bed at night, resting easier, knowing Trump is our president. Jim Paff with the Conservative Caucus joining us on this Trump-Versary. Jim, what a year it's been. Good morning to you. 1 year down, 3 to go. Let's start with some of the big wins, the top 5, a lot of wins for President Trump under his belt with a lot more to come. Let's start with foreign policy. The president of peace has ended wars. He has brokered deals. And I think, Jim, one of the ones that stands out the most to me in the last year is the Israel hostages being freed from Hamas. What's your take?
Yeah, it's a huge effort and an undertaking that he was able to accomplish that. And listen, the Gaza thing isn't completely, cleaned up 100% yet, but you're on the right track at this moment. I mean, listen, human history, things can blow up. It's not blowing up in this case because there's strength coming from the White House right now. And the American ideal is being pressed more strongly than ever in the international scene, and in a very effective way. It's rare the times that we have been so strong as this on the international stage. And it's because Donald Trump decided to take proper American leadership from the White House. So, yeah, Gaza there's a lot of hope in God. Listen, if they can ever get that really fixed, the renaissance that could take place in that area, just like Lebanon had experienced that in Beirut in the 1970s and 80s until they went haywire with Hezbollah running their country. They were having a phenomenal run of growing wealth and prosperity throughout that country. Gaza could do that if this scourge of Hamas could ever be drawn away from it.
Yeah, and we have the World Economic Forum coming up this week. President Trump leaving for that today from Washington, D.C. A lot of leaders from around the world will be in attendance, so I'm interested to see what's going to come out of that this week. But the president also securing increased NATO defense spending commitments as well when it comes to foreign policy.
Oh, I thought you were going to play something. Yeah, I think what's well, and it's also going to be interesting to see how the Greenland thing shakes out with NATO. But one of the things that's happening in Europe right now and with NATO is Donald Trump is reasserting American ideas of liberty and freedom and of strength back into a Europe that is just crumbling. I mean, they're crumbling when it comes to free speech. The European identity is entirely being subsumed into a more Islamic-oriented identity that has been purposefully put into place. I think that speaks a lot to potential, frankly, security problems worldwide if that continues. And Donald Trump is asserting to NATO continually, without ceasing, that they'd better get their act together and get focused in the right way. The rejiggering of our relationship with Europe is in a crisis mode right now, frankly, because European nations, though they still do have some of the foundations of what they always had, they're radically changing from the basic ideals of liberty and freedom that came out of Europe, but were more perfectly put together here in the United States. And we hold that mantle moving forward. Europe was secondary in that regard because it had it in its origins, but we hold that mantle right now. And Donald Trump, thankfully, is asserting that in the right way. We've got to continue to do that because, honestly, I don't have much hope for Europe if they don't get their act together. They don't even get the Greenland thing. They're so put off by Donald Trump's insistence upon taking Greenland that they're missing the bigger, broader issue, which is, first of all, Greenland is not a high resource country or anything, but secondly, that it's key to international security, much less our national security.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because you mentioned national security. There are a lot of Democrats and rhinos out there, Jim, who are saying, he's so worried about foreign policy. It's America first, America first. But this foreign policy ties back to America.
It does. Listen, I think he does have to maintain some caution in that regard, in the sense that don't get your eye off the ball domestically. But that doesn't mean, okay, I stopped 8 wars, so let's just forget the international scene and move on to the domestic. And that latter idea is what a lot of these people that are critical about what Donald Trump's doing internationally, that's what they're arguing for. And they say that those of us on the right who support Donald Trump and the MAGA movement are isolationist in our way of thinking. Nothing could be further from the truth. We're putting America first in our foreign policy. We're going to assert it that way properly and make sure that we maintain strength that does bring security to the world. Listen, I don't want to entirely disregard the historical importance of Europe on the international stage when it does come to liberty and freedom. But in reality, if liberty and freedom goes away here in the United States in any shape, form, or fashion, and if we don't maintain our strong place on the international stage since the early part of the 20th century, the entire world is going to fall apart. China's going to pick up the pieces, or some other rogue country that doesn't believe in the ideals of human freedom given by God, and it's all going to go away, and we're going to revert back to ancient times where there was chaos in every country, just trying to figure things out. So anyway, that's a real risk, and Donald Trump understands it, and he's asserting properly what needs to be asserted so that we don't get back there.
You're absolutely right. Let's go to number 4 on the list. Federal workforce shakeup, big transformation in federal agencies. What do you think some of the big wins there were?
Well, the biggest win is hundreds of thousands of less federal employees, thanks to Donald Trump's efforts, thanks to the skill of my friend Russ Vought in his Office of Management and Budget Director, who is getting the job done, who's built a framework so that Donald Trump's wishes can be implemented. There's a lot more to do. We still have deep staters inside the federal government who try to thwart what's going on. There's an organized movement, underground movement there. So there's some challenges ahead, but we're going to see some dramatic decreases in the amount of government spending related directly to government employees, and it's going to be a benefit to all of us. And you combine that with a shift with it, particularly within agencies like Health and Human Services under Robert Kennedy Jr. and the folks that work under him there and the other agencies like CDC and so forth, you're going to see a real change. Oh, and also at USDA, you're going to see a real change in regulatory structure that is going to benefit the American people as well in ways they can't always directly see. But, I look back to the Reagan administration, his tax cuts were certainly a significant factor in the Reagan Revolution and the growth of our economy there. But the untold story is the reduction in regulation that took place in his administration. Other than the first Trump administration, and now beginning in this one, we haven't seen a purge of regulations like we did under Reagan and Trump. And in both instances, the economy grew dramatically. So look for that to shake out as we're moving forward as well.
Yeah, we expect another huge year when it comes to the economy as well. That's number 3 on our list, Jim. Jobs in the economy, a booming stock market, reaching record highs. Constantly, we're seeing new highs in the stock market on the big indices. Jobs are coming back to the U.S. The White House reporting that over 670,000 jobs have been created in the first year. People are saving money for the first time in years. Just a lot of good news when it comes to the economy.
You've noticed Democrats aren't hearkening back to the Biden administration when it relates to the economy, as they were doing a bit of last year, trying to say that Trump's economy is worse. It's because the numbers are getting better. There's no doubt that the unemployment number is a big one. It's not big enough yet. It's going to be, I predict, much greater this year because you've got certain things in place that are going to allow small businesses to create even more jobs. And one of the things in the one big beautiful bill that was passed was the ability for businesses of all sorts to be able to immediately immediately deduct capital investment on in their tax structure. That's huge, both for corporations and for privately held businesses, because that whole tax structure allows these up to mid-size businesses in particular that are the real leverage for job growth to get a lot done. But beyond that, we're seeing a change in the inflationary outlook for 2 reasons. Price inflation, which relates to inflation that happens in industries because of the changes in inputs, that's changing. So oil prices have gone down, which means gas prices are going down. That bleeds into the entire economy. But general inflation is also going down because we're seeing a downward trend in federal spending. It's not where I want it to be. We're nowhere near a balanced budget yet, but we're talking about a reduction in hundreds of billions of dollars in government spending. Listen, your inflation is the tax you pay that people in Congress don't want to charge you. They can't charge you more in income tax because it'll reduce the economy. But what they do is they move it into inflation by extra government spending, which leads to money printing in the Federal Reserve. That outlook is changing presently. And the last thing I'll say is this: when you see the stock market going like it is, when the stock market was questioning Donald Trump at the beginning of 2025, the stock market is an indicator of the people who invest and have to do it right. They can't lose, deciding what they think the future is going to look like. They were initially scared about the tariff things, which proved to be wrong. And the stock market skyrocketed after that. And it continues on. There's no doubt that the markets see that things are looking better for the future.
Looking better for the future, too, Jim, is number 2 on our list. A big one for all Americans, immigration crackdown. We're loving it. The border wall, agents there protecting the southern border in the ocean, on land. The wall is being built, continuing to be built, stronger, better, taller. The agents there are doing a fantastic job now, getting help from the federal government. ICE agents in cities and neighborhoods rounding up the millions of illegals Biden let in. Let's talk about immigration, illegal immigration. And we're seeing a lot of that right now in Minneapolis as well. They're not liking it, but that's just tough. In my opinion, that's what we voted for. We want these illegals, a lot of them, most of them criminals, out of here.
Well, there's no doubt that this is going to be something dramatically positive coming out of the Trump administration. However it plays out over the entire 4 years, what we know that it's happening right now is more than 2 million people have self-deported. These were people that the Biden administration just allowed to flow right in without any restraint at all. They've gone back to their countries. That is part of the job picture because U.S. citizens are able to get jobs that were being taken. You remember how they told us we had to have all these people flood in because they would do jobs that Americans wouldn't do? The reality is Americans are going to do jobs. They have to, unless you give them money in transfer payments and welfare, they're going to do jobs when they're capable of doing it, when they're able-bodied, and if forced to. And so what we were doing was bringing in illegals who were taking those jobs away, giving them and the Americans who wouldn't work welfare also, and the ability to get what it wasn't a safety net except from responsibility. And so that's changing dramatically. But then even more significant, and we're seeing this play out in Minnesota, criminal illegals are getting chucked out of the country to the tune of hundreds of thousands. They just announced that in the recent efforts in Minnesota, more than I think they just had the 3,000th criminal illegal obtained by ICE just in Minneapolis, just in this short period of time as this conflagration up there has been increasing. Listen, I do not care in the least about what leftist Democrats think. I don't care about the protesters. I think that the American people are generally hardened against these protesters. They're not receiving that well because they know that Donald Trump's getting the job done. Of the people that ICE has obtained, I'll make this final point, 70% of them are criminal illegals. The other 30% are criminal too because they were violating our immigration laws. They might not have committed a criminal act here, but that also is something that Donald Trump is duty bound to take care of. Everything he's doing in Minneapolis and around the country through ICE, through the efforts of Kristi Noem and Tom Homan, he is duty bound to do. This requirement of the law was neglected by Joe Biden, which is why we got into this mess. So Donald Trump's going to, I think in the long run, be seen as a hero in this circumstance.
He already is. From the people who voted for him, we're loving it. Like you just said, you don't care that the left is upset about it. You don't care about the riots. Neither do I. I want these people out of here. I also want to mention, too, another huge win, the passage of the Laken-Riley Act when it comes to illegal immigration. As you know, she was the Georgia nursing student who was killed at the hands of an illegal alien, one of many in our country who was murdered by an illegal alien. So that passage of the Laken-Riley Act happened last year as well. Jim, you know, I know a lot of people along the southern border who live along the border or not far from the border, and they would tell me back in the Biden administration that they would sit in their homes or on their property with night goggles and just see these people flood in, running across their property. A lot of that has come to an end. Here's more from DHS Secretary Kristi Noem.
Before President Trump was in office at the end of 2024, they had an invasion going on their property. Their crops were being destroyed. They couldn't go out and take care of their land because of security reasons. They were carrying weapons to protect their families and their property, and they hoped that someone would care enough to come and help secure not just their livelihoods, but also the land that had been in their family for generations. Today, they told a very different story. They told a story of land that had essentially been given back to them, that now they could go out there and check their crops, work the ground safely, not be in fear of danger. They could go out and walk up and down their roads without the concern of being run over by cartel members moving their loads of dope across the border and into the United States. And they also told the stories and the memories of the horrific encounters that they had to deal with in their own home communities because of what Joe Biden was doing to this country.
Well, there you go. You know, it's true. These people that live along the border towns had to deal with these people coming across their land, ruining their crops, like Kristi Noem just mentioned. But now they can rest easier, rest better, and get back to doing the farming that many have been doing for generations in their families.
I lived in Mesa, Arizona from the end of 1999 to 2004. And the problem was not anywhere near what it is now. And when you're far east of Phoenix, where I lived, actually it's a lot less rural land. I was just looking at the map to real quick, but it's grown up quite a bit. But it was very rural near the Santan Mountain area, southeast of Phoenix, and there were illegals crossing through there, coming up from the Mexico border all the way down, well south of Tucson. They would still be streaming up through our area there. And people I talked to afterwards, they said it had gotten much, much worse. That's immediately reduced right now. I mean, people in Arizona, the rest of the border states, Texas, New Mexico, they're seeing a radical shift in what's happening at that border right now because of the excellent efforts of Donald Trump with the help of Kristi Noem and Tom Homan. We have a situation now that is far superior. Listen, this is good for Americans. It actually is good for people that are leaving this country, going back to their country, because it'll be an impetus for them to do better there. But we are going to be seeing, and this is my warning, we are going to be seeing from Democrats an all-out effort, like you're seeing in Minnesota and elsewhere, to make sure that this doesn't stop, because this is the golden goose for them. It's the way that they rig the numbers when it comes to congressional apportionment, where congressional districts are. In some cases, we see illegal immigrants that are registered to vote. We don't know how many of them are actually voting, but we do now know that it is happening to some degree, and probably to a very large degree. And the chaos that it creates gives politicians on both sides of the aisle, by the way, mostly Democrats, the opportunity to say, hey, just ask me to do something, I'll fix it. And we don't need politicians to fix our problems. We can fix our own problems. But when they mess up, they need to clean up the mess. And that's what Donald Trump's doing right now. And it's benefiting everybody. This is actually a boon for America that Donald Trump's taking this on in the face of all these massive violent protests that local authorities will do nothing to stop, where people are committing violent criminal acts and they're still doing nothing about it. It's crazy, their ideas. Our ideas, I think, can win out if we continue to assert them in courage.
Yeah, law and order. We have to bring that back, and President Trump is doing that. I just want to make one thing clear, too. You mentioned it briefly, but Jim, I've heard several people say, not everyone is a murderer, an assault, here committing assault, a drug dealer. Some of these are families wanting to come over and better their lives. That's great. Come in the legal way. When you come into our country illegally, that is a federal crime. And if you come in the legal way, we accept you. We want hardworking people to come into our country and better our country. But if you don't do it the legal way, that is illegal, and that is a federal crime. And so regardless if it's someone's grandma who's sweet and, picked up by ICE working in your local restaurant, Still a federal crime. And so we welcome her back when she comes in the legal way. So I wanted to make sure I touched on that today, because that's a big issue I'm hearing from a lot of Americans, especially those from the left. I want to go to number one on the list now. The one big beautiful bill, no tax on tips, overtime, Social Security. President Trump, Jim, saying this over the holidays.
Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year, and next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time.
I'm looking forward to that, Jim.
Aren't we all? Yeah, and that is absolutely what's happening. The IRS is predicting this and putting their numbers out. The Treasury Department in general is talking about this. Scott Bessent, Donald Trump's excellent Treasury Secretary, one of the best we've had, to be candid. And I've been following this stuff for more than 30 years. This is really an opportunity for the American people. By the way, I have some criticisms of the One Big Beautiful Bill. There were cuts that could have happened that some Republicans would not do. The Mitch McConnell and Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins types, who are barely Republicans, if we can even call them that to begin with. So we weren't able to get everything we wanted, but there were some significant things that took place because of the One Big Beautiful Bill that are going to bring about radical shifts in our economy through 2026. We're already seeing many of those effects. I would encourage people to follow Peter St. Ange. He's Prof. St. Ange on X. He has wonderful videos that are documenting this. He's a Heritage Foundation fellow. He's got some excellent information that can help you understand how this One Big Beautiful Bill has helped. And we will look back on the One Big Beautiful Bill, even with people who are critical for the lack of spending like me. Like, I had mixed feelings about it. I was really excited about it in the areas that are going to help out, but I felt we had missed opportunities. But in hindsight, it's going to be a fantastic boon for this economy. Donald Trump was absolutely right about that. And if we can come back with another reconciliation package, maybe One Big Beautiful Bill 2, that gets a lot of things done, that frankly, the Republican Study Committee has some good ideas on that, then now we can take it to the finish line. There's a real hope here. By the way, it might bring healthcare reform this next time. There are ways to address some of the healthcare problems that we have, and there are proposed. I was just on Capitol Hill all week last week with members of Congress, meeting with them, talking about these issues. There are some real opportunities to do this the second time. But one of the great, and I say all that to say, one of the great aspects of the One Big Beautiful Bill is that because it passed, this kind of momentum may be available to us this year, and the American people can benefit tremendously greatly between the One Big Beautiful Bill and the rabid success, the outstanding success the Trump administration is having on immigration, amongst other things. I'm not trying to limit it to just those two, but those are two key factors that can really help bring this country back around over the next 3 years of the Trump administration, and hopefully a Republican administration inspired by Trump in 2028.
I'm hoping so. Well, you know, the Trump administration is saying the Big Beautiful Bill is the backbone of Trump's second term agenda. So we'll wait to see what we have in store for 2026. I know the Conservative Caucus is ready for the midterms. Everyone can go to your website. Tell us a little bit about that. We have about a minute left, Jim.
Sure. Well, first of all, you can see all the things that I'm doing and saying out there, the research that we're doing, and the efforts that we're undertaking, including some video of my national field director, Chad Caton. He was in Ohio recently exposing Somali fraud. You thought it was just Minnesota. It's beyond that. All those sorts of things you can find out here, and then you can get on our email list and other communications channels to know more of what's going on at theconservativecaucus.com.
Theconservativecaucus.com. Love the email list. Make sure you join that so you can stay in the know as we head into midterms. Jim, always a pleasure to have you. Welcome to the morning show. Starting to wake up earlier now.
Yeah, always so great to be with you, Vanessa. And now we get to do it in the mornings. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Thank you, Jim. All right, looking at what you are saying on the internet, on Truth Social, Twinkle Nose 2018 says this: tariffs are the #1 accomplishment for the president in year 1. Saying bringing big money into America and paying down our debt is the #1 win. Then going on to say immigration, removing the foreigners brought in here illegally by the prior administration that have sucked us dry, leaving no help for struggling Americans. For 2026, this user tells us they would like to see continued immigration enforcement, help for struggling Americans, affordable mortgages and drop in home prices, lowering gas and utility prices, along with unity and world peace. Thank you so much for your feedback. We will have coffee talk in the mornings. Make sure you're following me on social media. Join the conversation so you too can be part of the show. Now to our weather conditions. A powerful winter storm. A winter system is bringing heavy snow, icy roads, and dangerous travel conditions all across multiple states. Look at this pileup in Michigan. Over 100 vehicles involved in this wreck. And in Florida, you don't see this often. Snow in the Panhandle. Look at that. Welcome to Florida. Usually comes with sunshine and palm trees, but not this week. They're getting a glimpse of a wintry mix. And monitoring the winter system is meteorologist Dana Melanson. Good morning, Dana.
Thanks, Vanessa. Winter back, not really back, making its presence known in a big way, especially in the northern tier states. We're talking about the plains. We're talking about the Great Lakes area, Midwest, where continued cloud coverage in for mainly the morning hours, but we'll see it actually all day. Underneath those clouds, still some lake effect snow in and around Detroit, Buffalo, just south of Montreal, and really expected to see another system, not one, but 2 different clipper systems that will push its way through the areas around the Great Lakes and upper Midwest as we continue to see Arctic air moving in too. Of course, prompting the very hazardous conditions that we were talking about it earlier, the 100-car pileup. Look at where we're going to be looking at temperatures right now, currently. 3 in Minneapolis, 3 degrees. These aren't wind chills. These are actual air temperatures. Chicago, Detroit, both at 3, Pittsburgh at 4, and Buffalo at 7. Expected to still see some more snow showers in Detroit. We'll only get up to 19 degrees in Pittsburgh. Buffalo still seeing some more snow today with the second system. They'll only peak at around 15 degrees. Vanessa?
All right. Looking pretty chilly out there if you're traveling or have loved ones in the region. Now is the time to check local alerts, slow down, and be prepared for any changing conditions. Well, a country music artist is giving back to veterans. When we come back, DARRYL is joining us to talk about his tiny home community for our American heroes.
I hear people say we don't need this war.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest Made in America sale ever. We just put huge discounts on products made right here in the USA. MyPillow bed pillows, body pillows, go anywhere pillows, bolster pillows, all made with my patented adjustable fill. Mattresses, mattress toppers, mattress pads, adjustable bed frames, mattress foundations, and so much more. All made right here in the USA. And now we're expanding our USA products beyond just quality sleep. Like the cross I wear every day, now available in both men's and women's. We even have USA-made socks. And are you tired of being tired? Try our new health beverage, Rev 7. Or how about my coffee, the greatest coffee ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get deep discounts on all these products. Plus, for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Are you taking advantage of President Trump's golden age? Well, what if I told you can just sit back and earn money as President Trump continues to repair our economy and make America energy independent again? I'm talking about oil royalty checks. With the help of the Oxford Club, thousands of Americans have unlocked this secret hack that has put money back in hard-working American pockets. Financial expert and LINDELLTV supporter Mark Lichtenfield has showed me how. It's a way to profit from America's energy production that's been working quietly for decades, even when oil companies were struggling. So go to LINDELLOILBOOM.com to find out how this all works and why it's relevant right now. That's LINDELLOILBOOM.com.
Country music hitmaker and patriot DARRYL Worley is launching the luxury tiny home community and resort for veterans. DARRYL is here with us this morning. Good morning, DARRYL. Good to have you on today. This is amazing. I always love to see when veterans are given a great big thank you, and what you're doing for them is simply amazing. Tell us about what you're doing.
So we have the new development is down in Enterprise, Alabama. We're actually really close to the entrance of Fort Rucker there, and the first phase will have 75 tiny homes with 5-star amenities. The homes are really they're stick built right on site, and they're very incredible homes. There's lots of different options. Obviously investors can buy a home. It's going to be run like a hotel, so short-term lodging is a problem in that area, and this is going to be able to help out with some of that. So you can buy a home outright and live there. You can rent it for the night or for a few nights and enjoy the incredible resort amenities. You can also buy one and put it in our management program, and we'll just send you checks after you've made a bunch of money. We'll keep it rented for you. And so it really looks like it's going to provide incredible low-cost housing for our military, and that was one of the things that we focused on when we were putting all this together. So that's pretty exciting.
It is exciting, and I'm so happy that you're doing this. What made you decide to do this for our military?
For me, I've always had a connection to the military, like all throughout my career. And Ronnie Gilly is a friend of mine who lives in the Enterprise area. He's just an incredible idea guy, and he's been a developer for years. We've done a ton of projects together. He called me with this vision, and my wife and I went down to take a look at everything, and I thought, there's nobody doing anything like this. I told her, I said, we'd be crazy not to be a part of this. Plus, it just adds to my, validity as far as we've always tried to do anything that we could to help our troops, and so this is actually part of that. And you can buy one of the homes right now. We're doing a special offer on this first phase. They're calling this the DARRYL Worley discount, but you can buy one for $89,000, or you can do the $10,000 upgrade where they furnish everything that goes in the home. And actually, that's probably the better deal, because for what we're going to put in there for 10 grand, you can't go out and buy all that stuff for any money close to that. So, I mean, you can buy a home from us right now for less than you can buy a good camper.
There you go. Yeah, and it's for a great cause as well. We were just looking at pictures. You have gone and you have toured and met with these wonderful servicemen and women all across the world. Look at this picture here of you performing in front of our great military. What's that like for you on stage? It has to be so rewarding.
It is. There's no way to describe it. That's right. That's at Camp Victory, right outside the BIOP at the Baghdad airport. And we went there over and over again, year after year. I don't know how to put it in words. I mean, especially when we would play the song "Have You Forgotten?" It's just a response like you won't get that anywhere else. And so it's very surreal. Those experiences are some of my favorite from my whole career.
Absolutely. I assure you that it has to be just simply tear-jerking when you're on stage in front of our veterans. You mentioned "Have You Forgotten?" That's your hit song. It was written about 9/11. It's still, after all these years, it resonates with Americans. We have not forgotten 9/11. We will never forget 9/11. Tell us about this song.
Well, it was a result of 9/11, because once the conflict started in Afghanistan, that was where we went the very first time to entertain the troops. And I came back home from that experience with just a fire inside of me to do something, and I didn't necessarily know that it would be a song, but it turned out to be a song, and we just wanted to honor all the people that were over there in the conflict, and not just the modern day stuff, but also all the people who've sacrificed and folks who've given the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms in all the conflicts we've been involved in since our history began as a nation. And so when you say, have you forgotten, it carries some weight, I believe, and we should not forget.
We should never forget. We all remember where we were that day, the news, how it shook our souls when we knew we were under attack as a nation. And, DARRYL, it's just sad to see our nation now so divided. But on that one day, September 11th, 2001, we were all standing, shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand as Americans. And that's how it should be every single day. Don't you agree?
I agree with you 100%. It's a shame that a blessed nation like this has to go through something like that to find unity. So I just pray daily that somehow we'll get back to that.
Yes, we will. Hopefully so. With the good Lord above, we will find peace in our own homeland. Going back to the tiny homes, I just love this. DARRYL, I've always been a fan of tiny homes. I think they're so great. It's everything you need in like a little box. It's everything. You have, the bedroom, you have the restroom, you have the little kitchenette, you have the living area. And this is a own little community for veterans. Tell us about the website where people can go and learn more information if they're interested.
Go to DARRYL Worley Awful Beautiful Life Resort.com, and anything with my name on it right now, there'll be if all the socials, everything, there'll be a place there where you can catch a link and go straight to that website. I'm telling you, it is a unique concept, and it's really, really, really special down there. My wife and I saw it, and it wasn't even finished, and we didn't want to leave. So we're very, very excited about being able to bring this to the community there in Enterprise. And I just love those people. It's like my second home. We're elated.
Yeah, well, I'm elated for you. Real quick, before we depart here, I just want to ask you about any music, anything we can expect from you in 2026?
Yeah, there's a lot. We're busy on tour that never ends. And we have two projects. We have one that's just been resurfaced because country music is coming back. It's called Here and Now, and then there will be another one that we're going to resurface a little while later this year. It's called Sounds Like Life. And then we have a brand new album finished that will probably release before the end of the year. And we're hoping, we're already started on it, but we're hoping to get a gospel project out before the end of the year this year also. So we got a lot to do. We're staying busy.
I love it. You're going to be a busy man. When do you sleep? But I'm glad you joined us here today. And when that gospel album comes out, come back and see us. I want to talk about that.
Oh, I'd love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, today, President Trump is traveling to Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. A spirit of dialogue is the theme framing the summit. Here's more from our Allison Steinberg in Washington.
For decades, the World Economic Forum has brought together global leaders in Davos to shape what it openly calls the future of humanity. But critics argue the WEF doesn't just discuss the future, it actively designs it, often without public consent. As the leads gather again this week, it's worth asking, what kind of future is being built? And for whom exactly? In a 2022 World Economic Forum policy paper, Advancing Toward Digital Agency, digital ID is presented as the hub of daily life, required for banking, healthcare, travel, employment, and online access. In other words, no digital ID, no participation in society. The same document even lists body-embedded digital identity as a future option, where identity is no longer carried, but built into the human body.
Around 2030, I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface. Wow. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
This isn't new. In a 2014 exercise, the World Economic Forum outlined a future scenario called E1984. They publicly framed it as a warning, but many argue it reads more like a blueprint, a form of predictive programming that makes total surveillance feel inevitable. Remember Event 201? And the World Economic Forum hasn't hidden the end goal: a future without ownership, without privacy, framed as progress. For many, this vision raises a chilling parallel. Revelation 13 describes a system where no one can buy or sell without a mark, symbolizing allegiance to a centralized authority. And while no one is claiming this is a direct fulfillment, it could be the structure for the future Mark of the Beast system, a centralized system governing access, identity, and survival. After all, the now infamous post promoted the idea that in 2030 you would own nothing and be happy. That message aligns directly with the World Economic Forum's embrace of technocracy and what it calls the Fourth Industrial Revolution, a transformation described by World Economic Forum founder Klaus Schwab as fundamentally altering how humans live, work, and relate to one another. Schwab has also warned approvingly that governments will gain unprecedented power through pervasive surveillance and control of digital infrastructure.
We are missing in our society two fundamental pillars. It's truth and it's trust. And without restoring those pillars, we will not be able to solve the big global issues which we face at this moment.
Now, this week's Davos meeting runs January 19th through 23rd, and President Trump will address the forum. While much of President Trump's agenda clashes with the World Economic Forum's ideology, it's important to remember his administration has also accelerated artificial intelligence development through the Stargate project and Genesis mission. AI is the backbone of digital identity systems and future financial controls, meaning the infrastructure continues to advance regardless of politics. The election of President Trump may slow the march toward global technocracy, but it does not erase the ambitions of the world's elites. The systems are being built. Digital ID remains central to the plan. And once participation in society requires permission, the question ultimately isn't technology. It then becomes allegiance. Reporting for LINDELLTV, I'm Allison Steinberg.
A record number of political leaders, CEOs, and innovators are attending this week, signaling the forum's push to turn dialogue into action. Again, President Trump will be leaving Washington today. Well, Turning Point Faith is going on the Make Heaven Crowded tour. The stops, the speakers, we'll tell you all about it coming up next.
With everybody talking about making America healthy again, I thought today'd be a great day to talk to all my fellow patriots about the importance of making your homes healthy again. Well, we have proudly partnered with airwaterhealing.com and their revolutionary whole home air purification system. The V3 from Air Water Healing does 3,000 square feet of purification. It eliminates dust, mold, viruses, and odors. But here's the part I love. They require no filters to ever be changed and virtually no maintenance. Whether you suffer from asthma, allergies, seasonal bronchitis, or just want to protect your family from the flu or even greater threats, don't wait to get your V3 from airwaterhealing.com today. Use code Lindell for 20% off in savings and free shipping. That's promo code Lindell at airwaterhealing.com. Let's face it, you can't trust Big Pharma. They've already tried to block ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and raise prices on everything from antibiotics to your daily meds. Well, there's good news. All Family Pharmacy is standing up for medical freedom and helping people get the treatments they actually want. My family and I use them all the time. They made it easy and affordable without the runaround. While other pharmacies are jacking up prices, they've actually dropped theirs. Ivermectin now starts at just $2 a capsule. Use my promo code Lindell10, you get an extra 10% off of that. You need ivermectin, antibiotics, or methylene blue, you name it, they've got it. They make it simple. You fill out a short online form, a licensed doctor reviews it, and your meds ship fast right to your front door. If you want to be prepared and have your medications on hand, this is your new pharmacy. Visit allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Promo code Lindell10 saves you even more. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Promo code Lindell10. If you want to drop extra pounds, boost energy levels, and reduce swelling in your legs and feet, then this message is for you. Pure Health Research is on a mission to make America healthy again, and two of their best-selling health supplements are leading the way. First is Liver Health Formula. Over 100 million Americans have a sluggish liver that's riddled with fatty deposits. This can kill your metabolism, pile on the pounds, and make you feel tired. Liver Health Formula takes care of that. It supports thriving liver health with special nutrients like artichoke extract and milk thistle. This is one of the easiest ways to slim down and revitalize your energy levels. Next is lymph system support. If you struggle with fluid buildup or swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet, this is for you. The natural ingredients in lymph system support help gently flush away extra fluid and toxins out of your body. And right now, for a limited time, you can get 35% off Liver Health Formula and Lymph System Support, along with 50 plus other health supplements that Pure Health Research has to offer. So head over to purehealthresearch.com and use promo code Lindell at checkout. That's purehealthresearch.com, promo code Lindell to save 35% on your order today.
All right, looking at the stock market as we start this Tuesday, opening bell just moments ago. As you can see in the red, the Dow, the S&P 500, NASDAQ all down. The stock market was closed yesterday because of the federal holiday, MLK Day, but today it's reflecting investor caution this morning following elevated geopolitical trade tension headlines. Markets are reacting to escalating trade tensions and tariff threats from the U.S. towards several European countries. What to watch today? Earnings season continues with key companies reporting results that may move markets. So we're going to keep an eye out on that for you. Looking at your news to go as you start your day, President Trump is escalating pressure on European allies over Greenland, threatening tariffs against multiple countries if Denmark does not agree to sell the territory to the United States. President Trump says he wants Greenland under U.S. control, citing national security concerns and the growing influence of Russia and China in the region. He has also warned that tariffs could start as soon as February 1st and could rise to 25% by June 1st if a deal is not reached. New developments now in the high-profile case involving the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Charlie's widow, Erica, has filed a motion in Utah court demanding a speedy trial for the man accused of killing her husband, saying the legal process has been unnecessarily delayed. Now the accused, you're looking at him right there, Tyler Robinson, has been in custody since September. He faces charges including aggravated murder. Meanwhile, the revival since Charlie's assassination is still going strong. Turning Point Faith is going on tour. The Make Heaven Crowded tour. You know Charlie Kirk was big on that, always saying, make heaven crowded. So this is something new for Turning Point. The first stop is tomorrow in Los Angeles, California. Then Thursday in San Diego. The speakers have been announced for the first stop in LA. And that includes Miss Erica Kirk, a few pastors, even Bryce Crawford. More stops will be announced in the coming days and weeks. You can go to MakeHeavenCrowdedTour.com. Again, that's MakeHeavenCrowdedTour.com to find the nearest city by you. And make sure you bring your friends and family. It's always good to see this Christian revival taking over our nation, the Make Heaven Crowded Tour. And for all of your news of the day, you can make sure you're getting your headlines, breaking news, stories, op-eds, all on LINDELLTV.com, LINDELLTV.com. And we leave you today in prayer. Our Bible verse of the day comes from the book of John, and it says this. The Bible says, "We have seen and testify that the Father has sent the Son to be the Savior of the world." And that'll do it for us here this morning. For breaking news 24/7, make sure you're following me on social media. Make sure you're joining in the conversation. We'd love for you to be a part of the show. And we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Have a good day, America.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice. Speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including LINDELLTV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to LINDELLTV's top shows. Follow your favorites and watch their newest content flow right into your feed. And when they go live on Vocal, you can join the live chat and be part of the action. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even help shape.
We all know what MyPillow has done for quality sleep, and we know what quality sleep does for our health. Well, now we're taking things a step further, introducing our brand new health and wellness line, formulated by a doctor with over 20 years of experience who only uses the highest industry standards. I've known and worked with him for over 13 years, and they're made right here in my home state of Minnesota. We have everything from ashwagandha and apple cider gummies, a liquid joint formula, body and beauty detox kits, liquid complex for heart and brain support, a cold buster all-in-one immune formula, Vibe, the best superfood ever, fish oil omega-3 pills, pro and prebiotics gut health formulas, and so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to get deep discounts on all these products. Plus, for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline. These are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation. And popping ibuprofen is not a solution to the pain. It's only temporary relief, and it's only masking the true problem, which is inflammation. Researchers are saying to add this Antarctic super nutrient to your diet. I'm talking about omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These particular omega-3 fatty acids are sourced from wild-caught krill. Has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. For a limited time, you can grab Native Path Antarctic Krill Oil for up to 66% off plus free shipping. Just go to getkrill.com/Lindell right now to get your special offer. With everybody talking about making America healthy again, I thought today'd be a great day to talk to all my fellow patriots about the importance of making your homes healthy again. Well, we have proudly partnered with airwaterhealing.com and their revolutionary whole home air purification system. The V3 from Air Water Healing does 3,000 square feet of purification. It eliminates dust, mold, viruses, and odors. But here's the part I love. They require no filters to ever be changed and virtually no maintenance. Whether you suffer from asthma, allergies, seasonal bronchitis, or just want to protect your family from the flu or even greater threats, don't wait to get your V3 from airwaterhealing.com today. Use code Lindell for 20% off in savings and free shipping. That's promo code Lindell at airwaterhealing.com.
America's founders warned that without knowledge and virtue, no nation can remain free. Yet through the steady infiltration of Marxist ideology, we have been stripped of both, and we are no longer a moral and educated people. To save America, we must spark nothing less than a national renaissance. That's why you need Freedom Talk Magazine, the journal of truth and virtue. We cultivate enlightened thinking and principled living, offering unique insights into the issues and remarkable people defining our world. Sign up today for your free subscription to Freedom Talk Magazine and join the new American Renaissance.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest Made in America sale ever. We just put huge discounts on products made right here in the USA. MyPillow bed pillows, body pillows, go anywhere pillows, bolster pillows, all made with my patented adjustable fill. Mattresses, mattress toppers, mattress pads, adjustable bed frames, mattress foundations, and so much more. All made right here in the USA. And now we're expanding our USA products beyond just quality sleep. Like the cross I wear every day, now available in both men's and women's. We even have USA-made socks. And are you tired of being tired? Try our new health beverage, Rev 7. Or how about my coffee, the greatest coffee ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get deep discounts on all these products. Plus, for a limited time, your order ships